Hi guys, so this is for my family. Um, this is an update for week 2 of the 20-pound challenge, 6-week 20-pound challenge, psychosomatic fitness. I just finished workout 10 earlier tonight. It's the 20th, so we started on the 8th, so it's day 12 or day 13. I started on the 8th, yeah. It's day 12. Oh, as you can see, I'm pretty worn out. This week was fairly good. I had some pretty good moments. I had some hard moments too, of course, and I think it's probably going to be that way the whole 6 weeks. Each week I'll have like breakthroughs and good moments, and then I'll have like struggles and awkward moments. I guess I can't really say there was any bad moments necessarily, but just awkwardness of working out with other people. I'm trying to think back to. Okay, so I weighed in Monday, and I was down 16 pounds, and it was a really big victory for me. I had a feeling the number was going to be big. I did. I wasn't expecting 16 pounds. I was expecting maybe like around 10 pounds. So 16 is awesome. It's kind of like a bittersweet victory. Not bittersweet, but I had a moment of like joy. I was overcome with I got a little bit teary, like thinking like, oh, my work paid off, and like, oh, this is the very first step of my long journey to becoming thin, to becoming in shape. And then I thought, 16 pounds is less than 10% of the total weight that I need to lose. So not that I discouraged myself, but it kind of like refocused me. Like, yeah, you had a big jump the first day, but you have to keep going. Is this actually? Yeah, okay. So I'm just holding this little mic up close to me because I've been having it far away and the audio has been kind of spotty. So Monday was the weigh-in. That was great. I felt good. I still have trouble with the shoes. So what I did this week, I took out the orthotic inserts and I just worked out in the shoes with the inserts that come with them. And that seemed to help a lot with certain types of exercises like the mountain climbers. Any kind of exercise where I was up on my toes and pushing back against my heels. With the orthotics in, the shoes pop out, and part of that is that the orthotic heel is thick. Not that thick, but like that thick. And so my heel like rides high in the back of the shoe, and it's easier to pop out of the shoe. So just by using the shoes, regular insert, the one that comes with the shoe, the default one, my heel is lower. I can tie the shoe a little tighter, so my shoes would stay on, and that was making exercises a lot easier. Some of them. So that was a nice moment. Trying to think what else. What other little victories did I have? Like each day they have me do that NSV, non-scale victory, which is like a little thing that happens during the day that you can count as a victory that doesn't involve how many pounds you are down or up or whatever. I'm not going to be gaining any weight during this. Just based on the number of calories I'm eating per day, I'm going to lose weight every single day until the end. That's a good thing for me. I'm happy about that. So I'll continue on the gym, and then I'll talk about the eating a little bit, and then maybe something else. I'm not sure what else. So the workouts have been good. Each day I think I can try. I feel like I can try a little bit harder. For example, typically now what happens is for the warm-up, I feel awesome through the whole warm-up. I'll do my rowing. We'll do stretches. They're aerobic, so it's not just like gentle, nice stretching. It's like, all right, do mummy kicks, and then for 30 seconds you're doing these like kicks that are stretching your legs, but it's still a workout. So by the end of the workout, I'm no longer feeling like, okay, I'm already done. I mean, by the end of the warm-up, in the first week, at the end of the warm up, I was already like, oh boy, I'm winded, especially those first like 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days. I gotta stop sniffing. I keep sniffing when I'm speaking into the camera. It's really a bad habit. It's so bad to hear. So this week, I'd get through the warm up feeling strong, and then I'd usually get through the first exercise, which varies from 5 minutes to 8 minutes, because I do everything in these chunks of exercises. So you come in, you read the board, and you can see, okay, here's what they've planned for us today. There's these 3 big groups of exercises, and each group is a set of exercises, and sometimes they alternate. Sometimes it's by the rep, by the number of them you do. So it varies every day. So now I can usually get through that first group pushing the whole time, like feeling, not by the end of it, I'm tired and I'm sweaty, but I'm not winded and I'm not dizzy and I'm not, gasping. It's like, okay, I finished it and I'm ready for the second one. Now by the third group or the fourth group, I am winded and gasping, and I haven't been dizzy at all, which is good. I mean, a couple of times the first days, I think I stood up too fast and I felt dizzy. And that's bad. That's not a good feeling in the gym to feel dizzy. But I didn't. It was only a couple of times. It didn't last very long. It was just from standing up too quickly. So that is something else I'm struggling with, is standing up, getting up off the floor and going back down on the floor is challenging for me. I can't transition that quickly. There's a certain exercise. Oh, I sniffed again. I don't know why I get, after my workout in the evening, I get congested or something. And I get the sniffles. It's so weird. So Monday, I believe it was Monday, at the very end of the class, for the finisher, which the finisher is like the last little group of stuff we do. And sometimes it's very easy, and sometimes it's just another round like the other ones. I personally think each finisher should be easier and like more of a cool down, but they're not. Sometimes they're just as hard as any of the other groups. Monday's finisher, we ended with burpees. A burpee is a push-up, and as soon as you finish the push-up, you're supposed to leap your feet forward into like a frog stance, like into a crouch frog, and then stand up straight from there, and in one motion, as you're standing up, leap into the air and lift your hands straight up as high as they can go. And then as soon as your feet land, you crouch back down again and you kick your feet out, you throw your legs out, and you go back into a push-up position, and you do a push-up, and then you repeat. It's one of the most challenging. I mean, I've heard other people talk about how a burpee is like one of the most intense and hard things to do, repeat, over and over. I can't do them at this point. There's no way, just because I'm so heavy, and I don't have the coordination to leap up into a frog and then stand up, and I can't jump at this point. I'm taking it easy on my knees. I can jump a tiny bit, but it hurts, and I don't want to get hurt, and I don't want to stress my knees or any of my other joints out so much that I have to stop. So I usually just do the toe lifts. They say, okay, if you're doing low impact, just lift up off your feet on your toes like a calf raise, and that serves in place of a jump. So instead of a jump, I just you just spring up onto your toes, and it's still hard. So Monday, they had this. We did this relay race with this like Russian twist, Russian kettle or Russian ball twist. You sit on the floor and you have a medicine ball, which is a heavy ball, and you twist back and forth. You twist the ball back and forth 5 times, and you pass it to your right, and there's a person sitting there. They do 5 and they go, and there's 2 lines of us. And he said the winner. It's so funny. The winner gets to do more burpees than the loser, or instead of the winner of the competition does less burpees. It's like if you win, you get to do more of them or some, which is weird. It's just this attitude of going all out when you're at the gym, which is good because you want to work out hard when you're there. You don't want to come in and kind of, lift a few things. So I'm getting to the point of my story. So it was a tie. Nobody won the relay race. It was too close. So we all had to do 15 burpees. And I think I did 5 or 6 maybe, and I was like burnt. Because it was at the end of the workout. So I was already through all the other hard stuff. And so I'm just like, it's hard to breathe. I'm sweating. So I'm going real slow, and I'm not leaping and doing all the burpee moves I'm supposed to, but I'm just going through the motions, standing up, lifting my arms, going back down, doing a push-up, because that is useful for someone as heavy and out of shape as me. Just doing that is exercise. It's enough to like get my heart rate going and push my muscles. So I was going real slow. Everybody else finished, and then they kind of, as they're putting their stuff away, they like gathered around me and they're like cheering me on. God, I keep sniffing. I'm sorry. And the first person who walked up was like, "You're doing good. How many more do you have?" And I think I was at 9 at that point, and so I said 6. So she's standing there counting with me, and other people start gathering, and they're like, "Good job. How many more?" And then the person who I told the count to was keeping track for me, and so they're all like, 3, keep going, 2, 1. It's, for me, that's a mixed thing because it puts a lot of focus on me while I'm in this state of stress. I'm pushing myself harder than I possibly ever have. So I become self-conscious, and it's like an irritating thing of, I guess it's a blessing and a curse because it makes me want to finish faster. It honestly does, so that I'm not being watched. I'm not under scrutiny anymore. So I kind of like keep the pace as fast as I can do it, So I think that element, I'm starting to realize like that element of being at the gym of you want to go as quick as you can because you don't want, and not that the people gathered around you are being mean or they want you to feel self-conscious. It's part of the culture of the gym, I guess. But it does provide that little boost of motivation. So that happened Monday. And throughout the week, a couple of different people have come up to me and said, "Oh, you're Isaac." And the reason is when I lost the 16 pounds the first week, I was the biggest loser. I lost the most weight of anyone at the Grant location, which is their central location. It's off of Grant Road. It's a block. It's like a half a block down from the Trader Joe's on Grant, past Swan. So you go past Costco and then, Costco, TMC, and then, there's a Fry's right there near Swan, and there's also a Trader Joe's, and then you keep going, and it's on the south side of Grant. And it's called the central location because it's sort of all their locations, it's the central one. So of all the people that are in the challenge at the Grant location at Central, I lost the most weight the first week. And they put that up on their Facebook page. So everyone can see my name. So everyone who's in the challenge or follows the page saw my name. Then they hear people saying my name in the gym, the trainer, or, and the trainer's name is Bryce. He's the guy who's there Monday through Thursday. And he's really good. He's this younger kid. I'd probably place him between 20 and 24 or something. Really fit, super fit. Nice guy, kind of like, a gym rat kind of guy, like just kind of all amped and he's not that bright. He's okay, but he's just kind of like he hasn't keyed in on, and I've told him this directly. Like he comes up and he's like, "You're doing a great job," and he wants to give me a high five right while I'm in the middle of doing 30 reps of something, and he makes me lose count. I'm like, okay, 15, 16. All right, you're doing a good job. High five. And I'm like, okay, pause, and I high five, and I'm like, I lost count. I've actually said that out loud to him. I was like, I just lost count. He's like, oh, it's okay, just go at 20. And I'm like, all right. So there's stuff like that, you know. But what was I saying? Oh, so people came up to me a couple of times. I think maybe three people total came up and said, "Oh, hi, you're Isaac. Yeah, good job last week. How did it feel to lose the weight?" And one was this older lady who she's in the challenge. It doesn't look like she's has a lot of weight to lose, but she's toning up. Maybe she's just doing like the body fat one instead of the pound one. But she was pretty friendly. She has a heavy accent, like I don't know if it's like Russian or something, some kind of Slavic. And we've talked a couple times. The one day we have to partner off sometimes. So one person's A and one person's B. She was the A partner one day. And so she mentioned that, oh, that's great that you lost. How did that feel? And I said, it was good. It was great to know that it's working, but I have such a long way to go that it just kind of, it wasn't like I was jumping for joy. It's just kind of like, okay, there's the first 10%, or not even 10%. It's probably, I don't know, 8% of what I need to lose. There's the first chunk. Now keep going because you have a lot of those chunks to go. So that was kind of interesting, like little mini celebrity status, which I don't want. I don't I don't want to stick out from the crowd. I just want to like go get my workouts in, get my results, get to the next challenge. Like I'm really motivated to just get to the end result where I'm 100 pounds lighter and all my joints have stopped hurting and all that stuff. And honestly, all this gym stuff, I could leave it. It's not thrilling to me. I guess because I'm not such like a emotive person. Like I express my excitement and joy in other ways instead of high fives and I don't know. I'm adapting to it. It's getting better. But the same lady, I don't even know her name, but she's kind of nice. We were talking about food. She said, "How are you doing on the eating plan?" So I guess I can transition to the eating plan. I'm not sure if there's any. Oh, a couple of other things about the gym. I still have the ab problem where I get a really bad cramp in my lower left ab and sometimes in the upper right ab. And I figured it out today. I was able to prevent it by just warming my abs up because I came in, today was ab day. I came in and I looked on the board and it's like, okay, it's ab day. You really need to warm those up. So I grabbed a exercise ball and I did some really light crunches and I did a couple of yoga things too. And I really just stretched the abs real well. The thing that's making them cramp is when I'm trying to lift my legs. So if I'm down like in a crunch position and I'm trying to do the head portion and the leg portion at the same time, if I strain the leg part too hard, the cramp immediately kicks in. So there's something going on there with, I think, what I have is like a lower back, mid back core deficiency. Like those muscles are so weak that I'm pulling too hard with my abs in a certain way and it's making that cramp happen. So I'm figuring stuff out. That part's getting a little better. I didn't have any cramps today at all. I had the hint of one starting, which throws me off as well because I want to kind of let up on the exercise and prevent it. But I'm able to, rest my legs on the ground and keep the upper part going, or just modify the leg part. So I'm, a lot of the exercises today, you're supposed to have your legs straight up in the air. I'm not that flexible or strong yet. My legs only come up, this far. So I can modify things, which is good. What else? I'm trying to think what other updates. So, okay. Gym. Yeah, the gym has been okay. It's been hard. I figured something out, which is, it kind of helps me, but there's no way. It's not like a little thing I can cheat or anything, which I don't really want. I want just results. But part of what they do, they say, I want you to go for the 8 minutes straight without stopping. And Bryce has even said a couple of times, like, I don't care if you only do one more rep by the end of these 30 seconds. I want you to keep your body moving. So like even at the very end, if it's 30 seconds down, you're 7.5 minutes in and you're completely cooked and you like your arms can barely lift. He just wants you to like keep the momentum going, like keep that last rep. Get one more in there. Try to get two more in there. So this type of exercise, it's cardio. So like for example, early on if with arms, I think it was arm day that I noticed this. You have the weights. You begin in the beginning and you're strong because you're not tired yet. And it's like, okay, do 50 dumbbell curls. Okay, boom, boom, you're going fast. So it's more on the high end, the high heart rate, more aerobic instead of anaerobic. And then as you get near the end of the 8 minutes, you've depleted your muscles are really cooked. Your lungs are tired, so you're still, but as long as you keep going slow and moving your arms, you're still working the muscle. In fact, if you do really slow reps, you're really building muscle better than if you just do, fast. So this type of exercise is that combination of high intense aerobic stuff and weight training, which will help keep the muscle on you, which helps burn the fat, So that dawned on me, like, okay, if I do push it to the end, even if because there has been sessions where we're halfway through and I cannot do another rep. I'm, like the other day it was push-ups, I think, and I could not push my bulk, my body, because I'm heavy in the top. I could not push my torso off the floor. It was just too much. My arms were done. So I think I did get one more rep. And I realized like, okay, I'm going really slow, but I'm still doing something, Whereas maybe week 1, I would have laid on the floor. There have been times where I just have to lay on the floor. And if I can't push myself off the floor, basically that's the end of that exercise for me. So that's been good, is having those little moments where I realize, okay, there's little nuances to this type of exercise. And I really feel like I need to lean into that type of thing so that I get the most benefit out of it. Like I show up at the gym and I feel like, okay, I'm only here for 45 minutes. By the top of the hour, we start at 15 after. 4:15 is my typical class time. Occasionally I've missed the 4:15 one and I'll have to bump to the 5:15, which I don't like because then it makes me usually go to bed later. But the 4:15 one is perfect, and we're done by 5. So it's 45 minutes, including the warm-up and the finisher. And in between, because the trainer has to explain the exercises, you get a little built-in rest. So of the 45 minutes we're there, I would say it's probably 35 minutes of work at the most, maybe closer to 30 minutes. So maybe 30 minutes of pure work, which when I show up, I feel like, okay, I have to get through this because I have to complete the challenge. I have to get 30 workouts in by the end of the 42 days. But I also am paying the deposit to be here. I'm invested in this. I want to get the most out of this workout. So I'm going to push hard. I'm going to try hard to a point where I'm not hurting myself, to the edge of injuring myself, because that's like my number one goal, is to come away from this without hurting my knee or, hurting an ankle or anything like that. Because I feel like I probably could. If I was trying to jump on all the exercises where you jump, I'd probably hurt something. So yeah, I show up and I have this motivated feeling of like, survive the class, get the check-in, get the point, the 10 I'm at 10 out of 30. So I'm 1/3 of the way through, that's a really good feeling. So get the workout out of the way, but also get the most benefit out of it. And so figuring out these little things about the exercises, like, oh, even if I'm completely spent at 7 minutes and I have a minute left, if I just push through those last few reps, and maybe I'll only get 5 or 4, those still have value because it's building muscle. It's building a little bit of extra muscle. And I believe when you're the most tired, that's when you get the most benefit out of more reps. So if, like with bicycle riding, they say if you ride 50 miles in one day, you get more benefit out of the last 5 miles than you do the first 45. Like your body gets the most training out of those last 5 miles. And if you pushed yourself one extra mile, you get more training out of that mile than you did the previous 50. So it's the kind of the same idea that those last 4 reps, when I usually feel like giving up, or in week 1 I would have stopped, those 4 reps, I'm like, these 4 reps actually count. And by next week, maybe it'll be 8 reps or something. That's another thing I've noticed too, is I'm getting more. So I'll give you an example. Let's say it's 4 exercises and you have to go, the first one is 30 reps, 20, 15, 10 or something like that. It's usually harder than that. It's usually, today there was one where it was 50, 30, 20, but it was only 3 exercises, so that's not bad. And then the second time around you do 30, 20, 10. Yeah, I believe that's how it was. And I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So yeah, you repeat, and then you would repeat. So I've had a couple of times where in the first week I couldn't even get through that first. I might get to the 3rd exercise and get close to finishing the reps, but I wouldn't have returned to the first exercise. This week, I'm able to get through the first 3 exercises, all the reps, and then return to the top, and then maybe get down 1 or 2 more before it's over. So that feels great. That's like, okay, I'm inching up my fitness. Like each day, I'm just like inching myself closer to being fit, which is great. Okay, the meal plan. How my eating's been going. So I was talking to that lady, I don't know her name, and she asked, how are you doing with the eating? I think she asked me that because of the amount of weight loss. And I said, I've been doing really great, except I'm getting bored with poultry, with just chicken and turkey. And she said, what about fish? And I said, no, I don't eat fish. I will eat fish. I don't have anything against it. I'll eat tuna. I eat tuna pretty regularly. But what I told her is when I go to the store and I see, tilapia, even if it's on sale for $3 a pound, which usually it's more than that, but even if it's buy one, get one free and it brings it to $3 a pound, I look at it and I think it doesn't look appetizing, and I know I'll throw it in my freezer and it'll stay there a year. And I might eat 1 or 2. It's just I have a mental thing about buying a bunch of fish and bringing it home. If I'm at a restaurant, sometimes fish dishes sound awesome. Like I definitely like salmon. So, I told her, no, I'm not a big fish eater. And I said I don't hate it or dislike it, but I just don't. When I'm at the store, it doesn't seem good to me. She's like, are you from Arizona? I'm like, yeah. She's like, that explains it. Yeah, kind of. It's not a big part of my, it wasn't a big part of my upbringing, fish dishes, So that was our topic. And then she said, oh, what about veggies? And I said, oh yeah, I love veggies. Even before this, I ate plenty of vegetables. Although now I do feel like I'm getting bored with vegetables because I've just been doing broccoli, spinach, Brussels sprouts. I had a lot more this week because I found them on sale, which was awesome. I think they were $2 a pound. So I bought 2 pounds or something. I've actually had Brussels sprouts every day this week since Monday. So it's getting old. I have spinach with every egg whites I make in the morning. Sometimes I throw spinach in with other stuff just to boost whatever. What other vegetable? Oh, I have been having cucumber. The other day there's something I realize about cucumber. I'm really picky about cucumber, and I think it came from when I was a kid. I can distinctly remember, it might have been when we were in the Middle East, when we were in Jordan, and I ordered a sandwich. I think we went to like the country club, and there was a bowling alley there, and they had, you could order small foods, not quite finger food, but little snack type stuff. And they had a sandwich, and I ordered a sandwich, and it came with cucumbers, and they were warm. And I remember like biting into one and going, oh, cucumber, and removing it because it was warm. Not so much that it was cucumber. So I can't stand cucumber if it's not chilled, if it's not fresh out of the fridge. It's just weird to me to bite into a warm cucumber. I guess it's the same thing with pickles. I don't like warm pickles. I don't know anyone that would. So I did buy some cucumber. I actually brought one to work with a knife and a peeling and a vegetable peeler. And right there, sitting on the lane at the gate, I just peeled it and chopped it up. I used a Ziploc bag as a little cutting board. And I had a little container full of fresh squeezed lime and lemon juice, and put some salt and spices in it. And that was delicious. But definitely cucumber, the peel gives me this weird burping thing, and it's some type of peel chemical, because I get it from like watermelon. If I eat a lot of watermelon and I'm not careful about avoiding the rind, if I eat too much of the white part of the rind, I'll get this weird, it just makes me kind of bubbly, and I'll be tasting it for a couple of hours. I know it's kind of gross, sorry. So that's been my eating plan. I did cheat. I cheated, I'll admit it. I bought some pork, and it was actually the same day that I had the conversation with that lady, and I think it was like a mental thing of like, I can't eat another bite of baked chicken breast, and I could get ground chicken, but it's always just so much more expensive. The boneless, skinless chicken breast, when it's a good price, is like the best value for protein. It's $2 a pound, usually $2.50 some maybe. So I did buy pork. I did find Jenny O turkey burgers, seasoned and unseasoned. I bought one box of each. The seasoned has like a tiny bit of sugar, but the grams of sugar are still, it's like 1 gram of sugar per patty, so it's acceptable. Because like our protein powder has sugar in it. Like there's some of the foods we eat have a small amount of sugar, and it's permissible because it's not going to impact your body. It's just a tiny amount. So anyway, I got some Jenny O turkey burgers. Those were buy one get one free, so that brought the price to like $2.25 a pound. Normally it's almost $5 a pound, because it's pre-packaged, and so they're charging you for boxing it and all that. So my cheat was to buy pork cutlets. They were on sale for $2 a pound. The package, it was like a package of, I think there was 8 of them for $6. So I bought it. I cooked it. I was careful. I did my best to remove all the fatty parts, because I believe, as far as I understand, they want you eating the meats. The reason they say chicken and turkey and fish and, because those are the leanest proteins. The least amount of fat. In fact, they were really emphatic about the turkey. She said, you have to get the 99% fat-free turkey. It has to be 99.1. It can't be 97.3, 90 or 91.9. And I'm thinking, really, is the 3% fat of the different turkey blend, is that going to really kick you out of weight loss? I don't know, but they know what they're doing, so I trimmed off as much of the fat on the pork as I could, because I figured that's their reason they wouldn't list pork on there, because people would probably get the worst kind of pork they could and not trim the fat. People would be eating chorizo or something, and it's pork, so it's on the list, and it's got tons of saturated fat. So that was my one cheat. I ate pork for 2 days, probably 3 different meals. 4 different meals, I think. So I guess we'll see. If the scale hasn't moved as much, then that's my mistake, and I won't do it again. I'll stick with the boring chicken and the turkey and stuff. What else? I don't think I've been sleeping as much as I should. I think after the workout, my body's up, and I need to like come up with a routine of cooling off. Winding down. Maybe a hot shower. I don't know. I have some chamomile tea. I don't know if none of that stuff seems to work. I have tried like a hot shower and then some tea, and I still feel about the same. I mean, I fall asleep pretty quick, but I usually don't feel like sleeping until about 9 o'clock. So I'm getting, what is that? If I'm fast asleep by 10, that's 6 hours of sleep. So I'm getting like around 7 hours. So it's not terrible. I think my body's hungry for 9 hours now, but I can't. I don't know. I will try. I think I'm gonna set a new goal of trying to get into bed by 7. I don't know. It's time I need to work on my music and other stuff. So water has been a challenge. One of my check-ins, I think I put that. So there was one day where I hit my water, and that was the day, I think it was Tuesday because I wasn't working. Right? Yeah, I think it was Tuesday. Because I'm here at the house. I don't have anything to do except Tuesday. There was stuff going on Tuesday. I can't remember. I know we cleaned like crazy Monday when Mama and the boys were here. No, I don't think I had anything Tuesday. I just had to go work out, I think. So Tuesday, before the class, I was like a gallon and a quarter in or something like that. Or maybe close to a gallon and a half. And that felt awesome. Like showing up to the class feeling fully hydrated is great. You feel more like you just feel soaked with water, and you're more resilient. You're more exercise proof. I don't know how else to describe it. You're more today. Each day this week I've been a little not dehydrated but underhydrated. Like I'm never going to be dehydrated again on this exercise, this challenge, I should say, because I'm so thirsty all the time. I'm getting plenty of water. I wake up in the morning and I drink a quart of water. I drink another quart on the way to work. At work, I slow down because of the peeing outside thing, which is really frustrating to me. For that reason, I can't wait to get out of being a security guard and going back to dispatch where I can go pee as much as I need to. So during work, I come home from work and I'm a little underhydrated. I make up for it usually after the workout. So it's been okay. It's just finding that balance of getting enough water to keep me... Like I'm getting plenty of water to not feel dehydrated all the time, but I'm not getting that level of water where I show up at the workout and I'm like, oh, I'm soaked with water, Performance level, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like if I was an athlete or someone who had to do something like this every day the whole year, I'd be pushing the water. I'd be trying to get around 2 gallons. I think for my weight, 2 gallons is probably fine. I know someone on one of my posts was like, you can drink too much water and wash out your, electrolytes. Like, yes, I know that, but usually you have to drink a lot of water to make that happen. And you'd probably have to be avoiding salt. I don't avoid salt. I salt my food, So what else? My clothes are fitting better. This is a 4X shirt that I bought when I started the new job to have undershirts for work. It's loose now. It's like a blouse. It's like not a blouse. Is that the right term? No. It's like a dress. It feels like a dress. Like the bottom is tenting out. Like it doesn't fit my body anymore. It's loose. So that's awesome. My pants, everything's feeling looser. That's really great. It doesn't look like in the mirror, I don't feel like I'm getting thinner. And I have been taking selfies without my shirt on. I'm not sharing them with anybody. But I take the selfie on Monday after the weigh-in, and I mark the date on there. I use my pen and I draw the date on the photo. So I do have week 1, week 2. And I'm sure, by week 6, when you look at them side by side, there'll be a big difference. when you look at week 1 and week 2 side by side, not that much of a difference, But what they said in the nutrition seminar back on the 7th or the 6th, it was 2 days before we started. They said you need to take a selfie once a week, do it on the same day, usually on weigh-in day, which is what I've been doing. And the selfie is for you. If the scale doesn't budge, if it's only 1 or 2 pounds for a week and you feel frustrated by that, or if the scale doesn't move, because that can happen, you look at the selfie, you pull up the selfie and you go back to week 1, you look at them side by side. That's for you, to remind you that it's not just how far that needle's moving on the scale. There's other things too, like how bulky you are, or things like, your clothes are fitting better. God, what other? I don't know. I guess everything's just getting better. It's easier to, things are a lot easier to do. This morning, for example, I was I bringing the trash cans in or putting them out? I was putting the trash cans out this morning, and no, yesterday morning. Was it? Was today Friday? No, it was this morning. No, last night. I can't remember. Yeah, that's right. I put them out on Thursday night because the garbage comes early on Friday. And I could probably put them out Friday morning before work because I leave at 20 after 5, but I'm usually in a rush at that point. So I put them out Thursday night. So pushing the garbage cans, one's a garbage can and one's a recycling can, pushing them up the driveway to the edge of the driveway, I felt really strong. I was like, oh man. I can remember before it being like, oh, this is so hard. Like I'm pushing my own weight up the hill plus the cans, and I'd be out of breath at the top. Today I was like, I wonder if I could push these. I actually had the thought of like, I wonder if I could push these up to the top of this hill, because up at the top of the driveway there's a bigger hill that goes up. So like little stuff like that has been awesome. Noticing little things throughout my day of like, oh, I'm getting more fit. I am getting fit, day by day I'm getting a little more fit. So that's awesome. It feels great. I don't know what else to give you for updates. I am very happy that I'm on 10 of 30 workouts. 1/3 of the way through is feels like a significant chunk of them down. I'm a little worried that I'll have to miss a workout for some weird reason, like if I get sick. I feel like my body is pushing off illness because it knows I can't miss a workout. It's like a placebo or psychosomatic thing where if I get sick enough that I have to miss a gym day, I have to make it up on a weekend in the morning. So I'd have to switch a shift with somebody at work or call in and fake that I'm sick, which is a pain in the butt. So I think my body is kind of like hunkering down, like doubling my immune system so I don't get sick on a weekday. So that's an interesting mental thing I've been going through, because I have been getting sniffles at night, and I'm not sure if that's like the change in temperature from coming in from outside and it's cold or something, but I've been getting sniffles, a little congested, but I'm not sick. So I guess that's it. I counted the high fives. I was talking about high fives last week. Bryce gave me a total of 6 high fives throughout our one session the other day. It's like, I guess 6 isn't that many, but he's giving high fives to everybody the whole time, and it's just like, so okay, 20 people in the class, maybe the average is probably 10 to 20 people, so say 15 right in the middle. 15 times 6 high fives, he's doing 90 high fives the whole class. It's just crazy. So I don't know. I shouldn't complain about high fives, but it's like one of those, I don't know, they're cheesy. They're just like, yeah, like, I don't know. I guess gym culture isn't my I'm not like excited about gym culture. I'm excited about the results. So I think I'm going to end my update there. I guess if you guys want to ask me questions, I prefer to do all of my updating in a video like this because I can get it all out. And that way, like when I see Mama and Tata on Sunday, I prefer that you guys have watched the video so that it's not like, oh, and then this is happening and this is happening and this, because I'm repeating all the same stuff, and I won't remember the details as well as I will if I sit down and do this, I feel. So if you guys want to know about certain stuff, you can ask and I'll put them in each update. Like if each update you want to know, like, are you making friends? I can talk about that. I'm not really making friends. There was like the older lady that I talked to twice now. And then there have been people that added me on Facebook, and I think they see that post where it's my name, and then they see me checking in there, so then they add me as a friend. I'm friends with, I think, 4 of the trainers. One of the guys is one of the owners. And then I'm friends with 3 of the trainers. And then there's like the lady who works at the front. So I'm getting like friends on Facebook. One of them is a mutual friend of Denise Lozano, who is now Hamilton, I think. She had a mutual friend who lived here, and she added me. It's a weird thing because I think I've seen them at the gym, but if I go look at their pictures, they're not dressed in like gym clothes and they're not in that setting. So I'm like, I think I recognized her. I don't know. And then they haven't come up to none of them have come up to me at the gym and be like, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so. I added you as a friend yesterday. So it's kind of hard for me to place. So there's still this awkwardness with everything. And that's okay. It's only week 2. But no, I haven't really connected with anybody really. I guess Bryce, the trainer, we have our little rapport. It's kind of cool. Like he'll say like, oh, good job on those whatevers. And I'll say, oh no, that's like what you get if you buy a do-it-yourself push-up kit at home or something. Like I'll crack jokes with him, like self-deprecating things, like making fun of myself. But there's no one else. There hasn't been anyone I'm like, oh, I could be friends with that person, But everyone's been really helpful. A lot of people. Was it yesterday we were doing arms, and Bryce, the way he explained the rounds was really confusing. And going back to my earlier comment about him not being the brightest bulb, he was like, okay, there's an A group and a B group, A, B, and C group, and A is the timekeeper. And then you rotate, and like I think we started it completely backwards. So there were 2 guys there. I've never seen them before. I think they just popped in. Like you can just pop into a class. So they may work out at a different location and just pop into the central to get their workout for the day. I'd never seen them before. But they were really helpful. They're like, no, you're on Supermen's now. No, you're on the butt kickers. So that's been, like, I do appreciate that part of it. So I guess I have to take the good with the bad. People tend to be very, very helpful about little details like that if you need it. So in exchange for that, I guess they get to stand around you while you're doing burpees, almost dying on the ground, So that's some of my thoughts for week 2. Like I said, if there's something you want to hear about each time, a certain, how has this been or how has this been, I'll let, I can give you an update on that each time. So thanks for watching, and I love you guys. Thank you for the support. It has been nice having support from home. That's been a huge, I feel like everyone's behind me. I think if there was people that weren't behind me, it would be tough to, I don't know. I'd feel like there's nobody I can think of where I'm like, I'm going to prove it to that person. Like I'm going to really kill it because that person doubts me or anything like that. I feel like everyone's like, you can do this. We believe in you. You're going to kill it. And we got your back. So that's been awesome. That does feel good. That's not something that I'm going to like push off and like, it's just a daily thing, and I said it last time. It's just like how was your workout today? Or how was if it comes from my wife, that's different. That's our thing. But if it's like from all my friends and family, and I have to 10 times a day, like, oh, today was good, or today, mentally I get worn out. So it's easier for me to do the update once a week, talk about stuff, and get it over with. And I think it's more comprehensive. You get more information from me sitting here it's been 49 minutes now. So thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next Saturday I'll do the updates either Friday or Saturday. After the 5 days in a row is done, but before the weigh-in. So, all right. Bye.